Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Did have some feedback that I think we'll edit out the couple of minutes of faffing that we've had. So thank you for bearing with us. So today, shall I jump straight in? Hi, I'm Cassie, and this is Lisa from the Modern Marketing Club, and we're really excited to be presenting the Social Media Hangout. We've got two things to cover today. We're going to talk about how to identify your ideal client, and it's really funny, actually. We were just chatting before the Hangout that we've both had examples in the last day or so of people coming to us asking for help with social media and not being clear on their ideal client. So it's just one of those things, isn't it, that comes up a lot. And then the other thing, I'm going to share a strategy which works really, really well for email marketing to ensure that you get a 30 to 50% increase in your open rates. You know how hard it is to get people to open your emails because everybody's so busy and we get so many emails. So I'm going to leave that to the end. So make sure you stay to the end of the Hangout and I'll share that strategy with you.
It's only half an hour. One large mug of tea.
That's right. So Lisa, would you like to jump in with the
yes, absolutely.
Client?
I'm not sure who we've got on the call because it's on Cassie's screen and not mine, but let's assume that I'm saying hello to Janet, who was asking me how to join us. She's in France. She's just moved from the UK to a wonderful part of France, and she's got the gîte astronomique, so it's such dark skies out there. And she was saying to me, oh, but it's not just for astronomers, it can be for anybody and it's family friendly. Look at my hands going. But my point is, well, that's brilliant. It's brilliant that you can be specific, because if you can niche down, you're in such a smaller pool. You know, there's so many fish in the ocean, but and she's got a lovely pool out the front. So something like that where you can niche down is great. Or Tess should be on the call today. She's got a fabulous app for PTAs called PTA Social, which takes all the messing around and trying to be in the same room and nobody quite having autonomy over what gets done. She's got a brilliant app for that. And we were trying to talk through yesterday, you know, whether it would be the headmaster, whether it would be the business manager, whether it would be the current head of the PTA, whether it would be clients and sponsors that would. This is the most important piece, and we all do it. We do it. You know, everybody does. But the more you can get specific, the better it will be. So I said that I would share my example. For 8 years, I've been the fairy book mother. I had a company called the Book Mums. And when I did my ideal client, it came down to, her name was Vicky. She had 3 children. She had her groceries delivered by Ocado. She went on the Take That reunion tour. Do you see what I mean? When you can picture one specific person, you know how to talk to her in your social media. You know where she hangs out. You know the sorts of things that she would be interested in. So there is no more important piece in marketing, no matter how slick and fancy you get with your bloody email. If you're not targeting the right people in the first place, they're just going to unsubscribe. So that's why we feel this is such a key place to start, is you can get, the more you can niche down, the more you can identify, that person will become your raving fan who will tell her friends, who will tell her friends, which is how you end up with such an engaged group and how you almost never need to market again. They do it for you. So that's my personal example.
Yeah, and I think as well, when you do, I mean, let's take, for example, I always use the example of a photographer. So let's say you're getting married, or let's say you've had a baby and you want some really nice pictures, and you go into Google and you do a search and you say, right, I'm looking, let's say with the wedding example, you look for a photographer. Are you going to pick all the people who say, I'm a photographer, I do pets, weddings, children, you know, portraits, out in the country, you know, all of those different things, all the bullet points in the ad? Or are you going to pick the person who says, I'm a specialist wedding photographer?
Especially if they say, I do ye oldie, or I do country boho chic. I mean, the more specific you are, the more you attract. Tess is going to love this. We were talking about hashtag woo-woo shit yesterday. But you do, the more you put out a clear message, whether you believe in woo-woo stuff and the universe or not, just human nature, the clearer message you put out, the more people, you know what they say, I didn't know I needed it until I saw it. When you see, and there's, you know, the science behind the reticular activating system. You know, if you suddenly think, oh, that was a nice red car, every other car is a red car coming down the street. It always was, but your brain didn't say, okay, red cars are important, let's start looking out for that. So if you can make it specific, the people who didn't quite know what it is they wanted until they said, you read my mind. That's exactly the thing I was looking for. So that's what we want to share with you about. And take as long as it takes. I mean, as I say, I've had 2 or 3 conversations this week with people where I've said, you know, don't say, I'll do it in 10 minutes. Do it all this week. Do it all this month. Just take the time, because everything you do after that will fall into place. I'm quite passionate about it.
Yeah, that's it. And I think going back to your point about exactly what you wanted, when you understand who your ideal client is, your ideal customer, you understand their pain points. So, for example, about the lady you're talking with, you know, if someone's lying awake at night worrying about something, whether it's their business or their kids or something that they've got a pain, the bigger that pain, the more motivated they are and the more money they're going to spend to fix that pain. So, you know, I think there's a lot about motivation in here too. But if you understand your ideal client, your ideal customer really, really well, you understand what it is that keeps that person awake at night. And they're going to be, if someone's really worrying about something, whether it's something to do with their business or their kids, they are going to be going out looking for a solution. And if you can offer that solution, and lots of people can offer solutions to problems, I'll give an example in a moment, you're going to be you'll say that they're going to come to you. You don't need to be selling. And I think, you know, we don't like the idea of selling what we do, but you don't need to if you position yourself in the right way.
Can I just say one part about keeping you up at night? Because I can remember when I was first learning about ideal customers and thinking, are people really laying awake at night fretting about it? But it's not so much they're lying awake fretting at night wondering where they can buy wonderful Osborne children's books and somebody who's a good old stick who won't rip them off and say, actually, that's a bit young. No, that's not really. What it is that, I'm sure a lot of people on the call can relate to this, is we feel, I'm not a good enough mum. I don't sit with them and do their literacy every night. And I don't, you know, that was what the pain point was. I'm thinking, you know, like if Danielle's on the call, will people really die if they don't learn how to cook? Yes, they will. People feel stressed. I feel stressed knowing that I'm a grown-up. I've got a growing family. I've got a teen who's just turned into a vegetarian. I've got no idea what to cook her. So that is my pain point. If you can say, you know, if your dear old mum taught you how to cook and you're quietly confident, good for you, but anybody else sign here. There's loads of us, loads of our mums grew up saying, you know, here's a nice ready meal from Marks and Spencer. You know, that was a sign of love because we'd gone through 70s and microwaves and all the rest of it. So don't sit there thinking, well, mine's hardly keeping people up at night. It's just below the surface, a lot of this stuff. I'm not a good enough wife. I'm not a good enough mother. Everybody else is more chic than me. How do people know what's the best hair colour? Look, I've got my new jewels today. I was styled by Bijan, who knows my colours. But yeah, so don't be put off by the fact that is it keeping people up at night. Well, it might not look like it's keeping people up at night, but it's something that, you know, when they've got a bit of a bad back, it's because they're stressed, or, you know, tight chest because they're stressed. Stressed by what exactly? And it will be all manner of stuff like that. I'm not really sure if Pete got run over by a truck tomorrow, would we be covered? Have we got life insurance? Does that mean? There's lots and lots of things that are just below the surface. So you don't have to be.
And you're not lying awake worrying about that.
No.
But as soon as you are aware that there might be something that could, you know, a product or a service that would help you.
Our friend Sarah does financial empowerment for women, and she did something very specific the other day that said, you know, if you have owned a home but it was with a boyfriend and you never quite got married, or if you've got divorced and now you want to get a mortgage on your own. It was for women getting a home on their own for the first time. And she had a huge, 90 people or something. But the more specific she got, you know, would you like to come along and spend your evening learning about financial stuff? No, not really. No. But, you know, if you say
you're in that situation,
it's your back against the wall, you don't really know what you're doing, and it used to be your boyfriend or your husband's job, well, they come out the woodwork.
Well, then another example, I met a lady yesterday. I was down at an event down on the South Coast, and she's recently divorced, and her ex-husband's moved out. She's got the house to herself, and she was talking about making the house hers. And I thought, you know, the number of people I know that do interior design and feng shui and all those sorts of things. And she was saying she was looking for somebody to help her to sort of reclaim the house as hers, but as a single woman. But, you know, again, if you're a feng shui person or an interior designer and you're saying, I do interior design, I can make over anybody's house. But imagine the niche. If this lady goes online and looks for some help, or goes in the Facebook group, probably looking for help to reclaim her house, you know, post-divorce, and that's something that you offer.
Yeah.
I think the other thing to say about that is, I was talking to a lady a couple of days ago, a potential client, and asked her what she did, and she said, I'm a life coach. So I thought, okay, you know, how many life coaches do we meet on the networking circuit? There's a lot of people are coaches, business coaches and life coaches. And coaches. Yeah, so we had the whole conversation about how do you niche down and how do you be a specialist and how do you attract people. And we talked about trigger points. And I said to her, you know, if you could just pick one really specific market, what would that be? And she said, well, you know, I've been through a divorce, come out the other side. I know what it's like. And she said, I want to help women to sort of survive the divorce process. Yeah, and then be independent afterwards. And I said, well, you know, that's a fantastic trigger point. So if she targets her marketing around, you know, to those pain points of, and she said, oh, I know, you know, your feelings of self-worth get affected when you've been through divorce, and you know, you lose your confidence and you don't feel good about yourself and you feel beaten down. I said, do you know, you're writing your marketing copy as we're speaking. She literally was writing her marketing copy.
Ben would say, dictate it into your iPhone.
Yeah, because imagine if that was you and you resonate with that and you're in that situation. She's saying, look, she doesn't say I'm a life coach. She says, I help divorced women survive divorce.
It's like our friend Julie Mara,
that's so emotive, isn't it?
Yeah, Julie's a wife coach, but she counsels people on holding it together, not getting divorced, unless, you know, there's a clear reason for it, which, you know, you can make up your own mind on that. But she's saying, you know, if you just get to the point where he's getting on your wick and you think, oh, I want to beat him over the head with a shovel and bury him in the back garden. Or is that just me? Is that just me? I don't know. But, you know, if you've got kids and you don't actually want to go, she counsels people through, you know, how to reconnect and stay engaged. So, you know, it really does make your ear prick up, doesn't it? If someone's specific, do you need a life coach? No. I don't think so. You know, do you need somebody to help you do this over a specific period of time? Oh, yes, please. Anywho, I think we've made the point.
I think so.
Don't make the point.
We'd love your questions though, because the whole point of doing Hangout is that it's interactive, and we've got loads of people actually listening to us yakking away. But what are your questions? What do you struggle with? 'Cause I know we're giving you lots of examples, but I know it's not an easy thing to do. And I know when you're a masser or a photographer or you know, all the things, brilliant businesses that people run, it's very easy to think, yes, I can make cakes for everybody, I can photograph every type of situation. You know, so how do I pick one? And the other thing I want to say about that, I think, before we move on from ideal clients, is that by being really, really specific, it doesn't exclude you from doing other things. So I think that's where people sometimes get a bit hung up on this. They think, okay, if I help divorced women survive divorce coach, that means I can't help anyone that's leaving their job, or, you know, it doesn't exclude you from doing that. This is about attracting people to you with really specific marketing. So
networking groups like that, though, because it's Mums Unlimited, for mums who try and run a business during the school run, it attracts so many blokes saying, can I come? So, well, yeah, you know, if you've got the right energy, I don't know how else you would put that, you know, but if you've got the right energy and what you do is either for mums or used by mums or targeted at mums, then fair enough. But it's funny how the exclusivity ends up creating a desire. I mean, it wasn't designed to do that, but it just seems to be that we get more and more people saying, can I come? It's counterintuitive, isn't it? You think by being really specific that you're limiting your market, and you think, oh, if I say I only photograph pets, that means like I'm going to really limit my photography business. It doesn't. You'll get more business. I keep thinking of all these examples. There's so many examples. Like Jeanette, isn't it? Jeanette says, I do kids, but not little ones. They need to be 8 or over. But because we've both got moody teens, And she does great pictures of moody teens.
But what a great niche, because who else wants to deal with moody teens in any capacity?
Yeah, and they're lovely. I mean, they really do look
They are
lovely. You know,
brilliant.
she doesn't make them smile. She makes them so lean up against the walls and graffiti on it, or, you know, in a park, whatever you want to
Well,
do.
they look like them, don't they?
But yeah, they look like them, so they're not going
But I know
in a Val
Jeanette,
Doonican jumper.
Jeanette could be a teenage photographer. That could be her niche because she's brilliant at it. But we also know that she does fashion shoots and she does other things. But it doesn't mean to say
She doesn't promote those. She promotes the fierce and fresh
or she can,
teen shoots.
But she could have different websites and different advertising promoting those different niches. You don't have to just have one and you're stuck with that forever. I only do social media for three-legged rabbits and that's it forever. You know, so
what's going on with the colour?
I don't know. I wonder if it's just the light coming through. Have we got any questions on the Facebook page or on the... Let me see if I can look at the Google Plus. We'd love your questions because this is interactive. Just looking to see if anyone's got any questions. Or have we made it so blindingly clear nobody needs to ask any questions?
Okay.
I can't see any.
Can't figure out where to put questions, Tess says. Where you leaving them, Tess? I can see you.
Yeah, we can see you. Just type them in. We'd love your questions. Just one thing to say as well, because we are going to move on from this, is that we're putting together an ideal client sort of crib sheet, which will help you to figure out for your business, because obviously we've given lots of examples, but everybody's business is different. And this is something that people struggle with. We're going to put together a crib sheet for Modern Marketing Club members. So if you're a member of the club, you'll have access to that sort of in the next couple of days. If you're not a member, should we show people how to join?
I was just going to say.
Let me share my screen.
You've got a nice little tour on video. We can do a little tour live now, can't we?
Yeah, let's. I'm just going to share my screen, and let's go in here. So what we've got, anything you want to know about the Modern Marketing Club, this is where you come. It's the modernmarketingclub.com. Hopefully you can see my screen now. And from this page, we're live streaming today's Hangout, and the recording will be there for about 2 weeks afterwards. We've also got all of the benefits of joining the 6-week Quick Start social media program, the private Facebook group, all the bonuses.
I love the way you whiz over 6-week Quick Start program. That turned my life around. When you first came. I mean, that's worth talking about, because there's 6 modules. You've only got, our first video, we talked about just do one thing, the good enough school of marketing, just do something, start, get it going. So because each of those modules has got, if we say bite-sized chunk once more, I'm going to beat us. I can't think what is a better way to put it. But because there's such doable, actionable steps, and because they're sort of, what would you call it, cyclical? If you do that plus that plus that, followed by that and that, you come round again and come round again and come round again until you hone your skill and hone your skill and hone your skill. It's bloody brilliant, Cass.
Right,
Cassie wrote that. I didn't. She's very good at it. But
I'm going to show you inside the member box. That's a good. So this is inside the Modern Marketing Club. So there's a welcome video there. And here we are. So this, when you first start, this is what we recommend that you do if you're new to the Modern Marketing Club, is to start with a 6-week Quick Start training. As Lisa says, it's a circle. So we start with planning. We go on to how you build a list and how you build a community and staying in touch. We've got 3 modules on social media, so shortening your sales cycle, how you position yourself, and how you attract business without having to sell. And I don't know about you, I don't really do much selling for my business, but I've got a lot of new business and a lot of new clients coming in, and it's because I've positioned myself in a particular way to attract a certain type of client and a certain type of business. And that's what we cover in this module 4. Module 5 is all about local marketing. So if you're a local business with a local community and wanting to market on Google and Google Plus and Google My Business. And then we've got measure and monitor, so you can see what's working. And what I really like about this is that this is a circle. So when I recommend you monitor every 30 days. When you've actually tracked and monitored what you're doing and how everything's working with your online marketing and your social media, you go back to week number 1. And these are only 1-hour training sessions. So this isn't a huge sort of 50-hour video module. This is 6 hours worth of training, but everything you need is here. You go back to number 1 and you refine what you're doing.
See, I was talking to Tess yesterday about this local thing. I think it's worth the price of the membership alone. But Tess, if you're watching, even if you want to go straight to week 5, you can, because you get access to it, or it's not drip fed.
Yeah,
this £7 try before you buy deal that we're running. Oh, got something to say on that as well. But this this trial membership thing is 30 days, so you can go through. I recommend you go through all of it, but you don't have to start at number 1 or number 2, because Tess and I were saying yesterday about, you know, she's a skilled marketer and has done it for years, but you know, sometimes you stand too close to the flame, and some technologies move on and you get rusty, or you know, we were saying about clearing out our office, and we were saying, God, there's so much stuff that I used to be interested in, but my interests evolve. It just is what it is. It's good to start at the beginning again sometimes and refresh your memory and refresh your focus. But if there is one of those modules that calls to you immediately,
so that's all in the members area. So everything's here within the Modern Marketing Club. Nothing, as Lisa says, you get everything from day one. We've also got training, which is all the recorded webinars, all the training, everything you need to know to sort of build your business online. You can see what's working in modern marketing. Just giving you a quick tour here. Create your business online. We've got Pinterest, we've got LinkedIn, got lead magnets. I won't go through the whole thing, but there's a lot in here. I just want to quickly show you the schedule of what's coming up, because we've got 2 different types of training. One is these social media hangouts, and these are the coffee cups. So the next one will be on the 17th of June. And this is where we're going to talk about how you attract your ideal client without being pushy or salesy. We're going to talk much more about that, how you can attract business to you. And then we've got member-only sessions as well. So the email marketing I'm going to talk about in a second, I'm actually going to run through a look over my shoulder as I show you how to do it, because I think it's a really exciting strategy. And some of you will be able to go away and do it straight away, and other people will actually need to be shown how to set this up. So if you're a member of the club, that's something that you've got available to you. So that's brilliant. One other thing to mention, the free action plan. This is available to anyone that comes on the Hangout. So if you want to get the free action planner, this is to get you started with planning your social media. So if you're feeling very overwhelmed and, oh my gosh, there's a million things to do, come here. It's mmspark.com SMAP, Social Media Action Planner, and we'll put that in the group as well afterwards. So let me go back and switch off the screen sharing. There we are. We're back now.
Hello. Just
Hi,
answering some questions.
Oh, have we got questions?
No, just where are you? Where did I put this? Where did I leave it?
So we haven't got any questions. If we've got questions,
I'll tell you why. I think because we've said to everybody, because we're on so many different platforms, and quite a lot of our friends and fans are not new to social media, but not wildly confident with it. Because we're streaming in so many places, nobody's quite sure where they're going. So I've said to everyone, come to our website. But there isn't a questions box.
On the marketing.
So obviously we've got it on our Facebook app, we've got it on Google Plus, we've got it on YouTube. But if we've directed everybody to Modern Marketing Club because it's just easier, we haven't got a Q&A section on the. Make a note. Make a note, Hicks Carl.
Well, I wouldn't I wouldn't have it on there actually. I think we'll keep everything on the Facebook page, don't you? But we'll send a message out.
We're trying a new app today, and it's very good too. And that's probably where we'll meet everybody, is streaming live through Facebook on our social media Hangouts Facebook page. There's a little tab, you know, it says home, about, whatever it does say, and then it says I have no idea. What does it say? Join webinar. Join Hangout. And I think it might be easy to direct everybody there for the next one, because then we're all on the same page and we can all see what we're doing. I mean, a lot of people that do stream live through all the different media channels have a small team of people beavering away in the background, and we've got nobody but Holly the dog. So
and she's deep on the social.
She's rubbish at monitoring social media, frankly. So sorry if
there are any questions, we'll answer them on the Facebook. I think if we agree the Facebook page is the central place.
Can you share the screen to show what our Facebook
we've only got a couple of minutes left, and I do want to cover the email marketing strategy.
Yes, you're right.
But let me quickly share the screen.
It's just that's been the main question. So whereas we would have said Q&A about ideal customer? The main question is.
So here we are. So this is the Facebook page here. So it's facebook.com/social media hangouts. And here we are live streaming through.
Yes.
And if you go to the page, you'll see there's a tab that says join Hangout. So we need to make a little graphic, don't we, with an arrow.
And 22 social can let us do.
And this is where we are, and this is where you can put your comments. So I think people haven't found that yet, but this is all new to us as well. We're learning as we go along. So, you know, oh, no, there's no comments in there yet. So wherever you're listening in from, what we recommend is that you leave your comments here on the Facebook page. And in terms of the special offer for the Modern Marketing Club, that was going to expire at the end of May, but that was half term, and so many people have come back and said, oh, please, can we have a bit longer? That we're actually going to extend that to this Sunday, which is the...
Oh, we're sharing, Cass?
Yeah, the 7th of... Yeah.
Cool. For some reason, I thought we were still on screen because it normally says share, stop sharing.
Yeah, sorry, we weren't sharing.
We weren't sharing. Okay.
So sorry, this is the social media page. Sorry, facebook.com, social media hangouts. Go to join Hangout here, and then you'll see us streaming. There's the special offer, which now ends on Sunday, the 7th of June. We'll send that round to everybody, and this is where you can leave your comments. So just very quickly then, in the last minute, if that's okay, unless you've got anything else, Lisa.
No, I haven't.
I'm just going to talk about I'll stop sharing. I'm just going to talk about the email strategy. Now, this might sound simple, but it's really, really powerful. So what you do, once you've sent your email broadcast out, it could be Aweber or MailChimp or Get Response, iContact, whatever you're using, Infusionsoft. A lot of people are using Infusionsoft. You send your email message out, and as we know, what the usual stats will be, you get a certain percentage of people will open your emails. So let's say, for example, that's 20%. Let's assume it's 20%. That means that 80% of people haven't opened the email. So what do you do if you want to get more people to open the email? Well, here's a really clever trick that I've been using. This works really, really well. What you do is you resend that email, but only to the 80% that haven't opened it. And what you do, you send the same email, but you change the subject line. So those 80% of people that haven't opened it, they haven't opened it either because they've just been too busy or the subject line wasn't compelling enough. So what you need to do is you take the same email, whether it's within MailChimp or Aweber, you set up a section. This is where I'm doing a webinar to show you how to. So you set up a segment of people who haven't opened or haven't clicked on that first email, and you change the headline. And I'm going to cover a little bit some headline strategies, as copywriting strategies as well. So you find a completely different headline and you resend that email to the 80% that haven't opened it, and you'll find the open rate will be much higher. And then you can do that a third time. And what some of the top internet marketers do is they actually do this at least 3 times. So what you do, you send the email a third time to anyone who hasn't opened 1 and 2. You send it to people. So by then you might be up to sort of, say, 60% of people haven't opened 1 or 2 email. You then send a third email, which is the same email, again with a different subject line, to those 60% of the
last segment.
And I promise you, if you do this, you will get a 30 to 50% increase in your open rate. So overall, across the 3 emails, you'll get that 20% open rate up to more like 30, 40, 50%.
Mm-hmm. And they call that remarketing. We'll probably cover that in future. The live at lunch calls will always just be tips like we're sharing today, 30 minutes of tips. But the Modern Marketing Club, as Cassie showed you on the schedule, the webinars are full of how-to and hands-on when you're a member. So as far as remarketing, you send it, this happens across all marketing, doesn't it? All social marketing.
I would say that was something different actually, but that's something that we would cover.
So, once somebody's visited your website, you can put some code on it
well, that's totally different to email marketing. Yeah,
but I'm just saying, instead of sending something out and thinking, well, they did or didn't accept it, it's like remarketing but for email.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yeah, just so we don't confuse people with terminology.
You're right.
Yeah, no, and so what I'm going to do, I've got a webinar on the 9th of June, which is next Tuesday at 12 o'clock, again, British time, just for Modern Marketing Club members. If you're not a member, you can join for £7, which is only $10. So join, and I'm going to show you, you can watch over my shoulder as I show you how to set that up in MailChimp. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been, we'll get our heads around the whole question thing, but put any questions on the Facebook group. We'll be on the group
absolutely
now until the next call.
Have you showed everybody, just as a last reminder, I don't mean to sound salesy, but have you showed everyone as a last reminder, so when you hang up from this call, this is where you click to join, because it's the £7, because we missed out a week of half term. Cassie was busy, I was sick. A lot of people asked us about joining the club because, as I say, it's only £7 for 30 days. And we haven't had a chance to get back to everyone. So without sounding salesy, if you are interested, if you can see it's a no-brainer, that you don't have to ask your husband permission, that you don't have to wait until you get paid, it's £7. This is where you go to join up.
Yep, I can share screen again and show you. It's very simple. You go to themodernmarketingclub.com. That's the website, and that's where you can, if you are a member already, you can log in and access the treasure chest and the 6-week social media program and all the webinars and bonuses. If you're not a member, that's where you can join. And we've also got the schedule of all the upcoming calls. So everything you need to know is on this page here, which is themodernmarketingclub.com.
Lovely. And if you scroll down, is there a join at the bottom of that page as well? Yes, yeah. So here's all the benefits. That reminds you of stuff we were talking about earlier, and that's where you sign up. So unsalesily yours, signing off. But we did have quite a few people ask us about that before, didn't we?
We did, yes, yeah. So we've that's brilliant. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. And our next call is on the 17th of June, the next social media hangout, where we're going to talk about how you position yourself to attract all this business coming
it's like
in.
This.
So.
No, it's not like that.
All right, have a brilliant couple of weeks, and so do send any questions, and we'll speak to you on the 17th of June, if not in the club itself. Okay.
And see you in the comments.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.